I feel like the younger people in the world, I think, would love ballet so much more than they are exposed to it. The direction that we're taking it, there's so much new stuff coming out that's so cool. We're in a new ballet that we just premiered the other day, and it's like, if I were a younger person and came and saw that, I would be blown away.
Absolutely.
I would want to come back and see more. They only see us on stage, they don't know who we are as people. So
And we are people.
And we are people. It's like dancers are regular people too.
You don't become an artist by just doing your field, by just being in your bubble. And that's why I think having an outside life is so important. I go to school.
Running triathlons.
I got my real estate license. I want to have a family.
Because that's what will inspire you to be the best artist you can be in your field. I had a major back injury last year. I was dancing a crazy amount. I was so happy and I thought it was like the best time of my career. But I just did not take the time to take care of myself. And finally, everything just kind of crashed. A lot of my friends were like, what if this is it? What if you can't dance anymore? And that question, like, I cried for days. I had nothing else in my life besides dance before that. I came back in January after 8 months of nothing. So that changed my view of what I do for a living. I started actually just having a life. I started becoming a New Yorker that I had not been for 12 years of living in New York. And that was probably the best thing I ever could have done. I feel very lucky in that way to live in this city, and everybody that's in this company should feel that same way too. Even now, when I'm about to step on stage, I almost start to cry every time because I can't believe that I am performing again.
Coming back from an injury, I'm trying to figure out where my place is right now.
I just had my Spanish dance, which is in the third act of Swan Lake. And as you can see, it's intense. I'm sweating and dying, but I feel good. This is my first performance after my injury. Everything feels okay. The body's still a little sore, but I know I can get out on stage in front of a few thousand people and pull it off. When your foot is in a cast and you're on crutches, you can't walk down the stairs, it's very hard to picture yourself back leaping across the stage. Honestly, I had my doubts that I would get to this point.
I realize how lucky I am to get a chance to do this again, to hear this incredible music and put on these costumes, and what I've loved, as a kid, I get to do as a profession.
If I have a career-ending injury tomorrow, I can't guarantee that I'm still going to want to dance. I may be too devastated to stay in the dance world. That's a very real possibility for any dancer, so that's why I go to school in something completely different. I was taking courses before, but my career really picked up, and now I'm kind of welcoming the challenge of doing both school and company. If I had gone to college at 18, I would never have majored in political science. I feel kind of lucky to have gotten the extra couple of years to get to know myself and actually study something that I want to. Of course, after I stop dancing, I plan on staying in ballet and teaching. But you never know, in another 10 years, I might just be really sick of it and not want to do it anymore.
This summer, I got my real estate license, and it's sort of a step in what I may want to do if and when I stop dancing. I've had this goal on the back burner for ages now. I love the real estate here in New York. I think the architecture is beautiful, and it was a great way to sort of take a break from ballet, which I desperately needed. It kind of also makes me feel secure in that no matter what happens at New York City Ballet, when it comes time to transition, it's not so stark and sudden.
I want to have a family, and I definitely think there is a way to figure everything out.
It's kind of a daunting task to think about how we fit taking care of a child into what's an outrageous schedule. We'll probably just, pawn them off on other dancers around the company during the day. Your turn to watch baby Megan Megan Jr.
I think all of last year, I forgot that it was for me, and I would perform and like after be like, what the hell did I just do on stage? I just did Jester in Swan Lake last week twice. And I'm not saying I had like the most amazing shows last week, but for me, I felt a little bit better about myself because I feel like I have the right tools right now. It's just a matter of applying them. My hardest thing is staying grounded. It's really hard to do that when you're trying to move forward. I just think ultimately in ballet, always remember that it's to make you happy, and that's why we do it.
This job is never going to be easy,
It's gonna hurt every single time you do it, and the better you do it, the more it hurts.
but we understand that it's our passion and that there's nothing else we're going to do until we're at the age where you can't do it anymore.
I'm gonna do this as long as it's fun, because otherwise it's just not worth it.
It can be the most life-giving, wonderful kind of sanctuary, means of expression, all these things. There's nothing else I would want to do.
To stir something inside without speaking, but just doing it in movement, I think is a very powerful thing.
There are those performances that you have that it's like breathing, like you can't imagine how you could not be doing this all the time.
I could try to define for people watching how it feels, and I can't. I still remember tearing up on stage, looking at the audience and being like, wow, this is for me. This is exactly what I was meant to do.
You know, you're never more alive than when you're out there. It's like something that you have only with a lover, and you can have it with like everybody on stage.
And what it is this kind of indescribable high. You feel beautiful, you feel perfect. It's close to that feeling of like, oh, this is what it feels like to feel, I don't know, it's glorious.
Being in New York City Ballet, being in New York City, being a ballerina, I think I probably have the best job in the world. Like I can't even believe it.
I feel like I skipped the process of being a kid. You know, everything was so intense so quickly. And now I'm like, I want to take it in a little bit, but too much of it's already out there. I can't bring it back, you know what I mean?